Welcome back to AM Northwest. Here to tell us why working from home can be more than productive, we welcome back psychologist Dr. Goli Sadie. Good to have you with us again.
Great to be back.
So, Goli, tell me, you work from home, right?
Some of the time. Whenever I can. I love working from home.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the advantages to working from home. And one is, of course, you don't have the commute.
Yeah, the commute is a really big stressor, Helen, for a lot of folks. And
it's getting worse every year in the Portland area.
I mean, every month it feels like there's more and more cars on the road, you know, and during the ice storm, right, and the snowstorm, it was really dangerous to even try to commute, you know, and I think one of the things is that that's one of those micro stressors that gets to you every single day.
Right.
So in psychology, we oftentimes talk about the macro stressors. So a big life event happens, somebody gets divorced, somebody gets married, you buy a house. That's one type of stress.
Sure.
But the micro stressors are actually the ones that are most impactful on our health and can be really hazardous, because what happens is it's a chronic stressor. Day in, day out, it's the daily grind. And the commute is one of those stressors that can actually impact you far worse than the things that you actually would think would stress you out.
Right, because you come into the office stressed out from that commute.
Exactly, you're exhausted, you know, and you go home and you're exhausted again. It agitates you, it frustrates you, and so getting rid of that takes away all that mental baggage.
You say that you, when you're working from home, that you're more apt to eat healthier food and exercise more often.
I am, you know, and I don't know about you, Helen, but I feel like when I'm in the office, a lot of times I'll say, you know what, I'll just get some cookies or I'll get some crackers. When I'm home, it's a lot easier to open up the fridge and make something fresh and healthy right then and there. You don't have the office vending machine. You don't have the free donuts.
We don't have the office parties and the donuts, that people bring in.
Exactly, and those are so tempting, and it's easy to just indulge and you're treating yourself. Exercise is another big one, you know, because with this weather that we've been having, right, it's been sunny intermittently, right? Suddenly you'll look out, it's 2 o'clock and it's beautiful, and you're in the office. And by the time you get out of the office, it's too dark or raining again, and you can't get outside and enjoy the fresh air. You can be a lot more flexible with your gym time, going for a run, going for a walk, when you are working from home. And it's natural because you'll want to break up the day that way as well, right? You don't want to just sit and work.
Don't you get more distracted at home than you do at the office?
Sometimes you can.
I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think it's setting up those boundaries, and that's really important. So I've said that I've known some parents where they'll actually get a babysitter for their kid while they're working from home.
Okay, so that they focus on their work.
Exactly. So you do want to make sure of that, but also sometimes breaking up the tasks can be good for you, because a lot of times, you know, when I have a patient with ADHD, they'll say, I can't focus for a long period of time. And I think that's natural for most people. So actually, if you break it up with saying, I'm going to go wash the dishes, and now I'm going to do a little bit of email, you can actually end up getting more done as well.
You just have to be very strict with yourself.
You have to be very strict with yourself, yeah.
You talk about inactivity fatigue.
It is, and this is kind of a new concept for me. I was reading this book, it's called Younger Next Year. It's written by this physician and an attorney, and they talk a lot about kind of doing well into your retirement ages. And they talk about how important it is to be active and healthy. And they did a lot of research, a lot of interviews with folks, and people said, well, at the end of the workday, I'm too tired. And a lot of people, you know, in the U.S., a lot of our jobs are really sedentary. We're sitting down.
Yeah.
So how is it possible for us to actually be tired? And what it ends up being is that many times we're actually having this mental fatigue and this emotional fatigue, and it's not physical. So what we really need to do is make sure that we're up and moving. Okay. And so that really encourages this idea that when we are working from home, you know, we have more of that energy to give because we are sedentary. We're going to get fidgety. So we're going to want to be up and out and moving around a lot more.
And you talk about mood being enhanced because you've got a less structured environment.
You do. And, you know, one of the things that I will admit, I love being in my pajamas, right? And having my blanket and having my tea.
Just please don't go to the grocery store in your pajamas. That's all I ask.
I will not do that, I promise.
Adults in their pajamas at the grocery store irk me. Okay.
But that's why athleisure was developed, right? So with athleisure, right, you can do your workout, you can kind of, you know, do your work, but you're much more comfortable. Right? And you can take a nap, right? A lot of research shows that a 10 to 15-minute nap is ideal for productivity, right? And for memory consolidation, there's a lot of benefits to napping. And in a work environment,
you can't nap.
Really hard to do unless you work at Google or something like that with their little nap pods. You can't do it. So at home, that's very much a possibility as well.
Do you think more gets done when you work from home?
Absolutely. I think initially, if you're not used to it, you can really waste the time and the day kind of gets away from you. But once you have those boundaries and you're really structured, you get more done. I know that days that I work from home, I'll say, oh, I did 5 hours of email, I got the dishes done, I did this, because again, you're not doing the commute, you're not packing your lunch, you're not having to get dressed, do hair and makeup. All of that time is really being drained from you, and so you're able to use that much more productively.
Do you have a calendar where you say for 1 hour I'll do this, another hour I'll do this?
I try to to the point that I can, but also flexibility, and that's the beauty of when you're not always working from home, you can be a lot more flexible with what you do.
Goli, good information. Thank you very much.